Welcome to Take 5, a podcast brought to you by Newleaf Training and Development. Each edition is an inspiring interview with a leader worth listening to. Enjoy!
Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at Newleaf Training and Development, and I'm so delighted to be joined today by John Shaffery, managing partner at Poole Shaffery. John, can you believe it? For nearly 17 years now at Newleaf Training and Development, we've focused on our core purpose of helping people and organizations better manage themselves, lead others, and grow business acumen. I just wondered, what are your recommended best practices to help people and organizations be their best? But please do start, John, by telling us a little bit more about your organization, what you do and who you serve. So over to you, John, and I'll wrap it up when you're done.
Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate the opportunity. As you mentioned, with the law firm of Poole Shaffery, and we're known as the law firm for your business. And we have been in business for over 25 years with 5 offices serving clients throughout Southern California. We're home-based in Santa Clarita, California, with offices in Newport Beach, Paso Robles, California, downtown Los Angeles, and San Diego. And our lawyers tend to concentrate in the areas of business transactions, business litigation, employment counseling, and employment litigation. But what I thought I would do today, Paul, is to discuss what I view as the 5 most common legal mistakes that small and medium-sized businesses make, and to highlight them to hopefully educate your audience to prevent businesses getting in trouble. The number one mistake that we see is that businesses fail to create or choose the proper legal structure. If you're going to have a business, you need to examine and determine what is the proper structure for you. This is not only a legal issue, it's also an accounting issue because there is tax ramifications. But do make sure you decide how you're going to set up your business from a legal structure with the advice and consent of both your accountant as well as your legal counsel. The second biggest mistake, Paul, we see is a business not having the proper contracts in place. The contracts such as, well, what is your business and who are you in business with? And what is that going to look like, particularly if things don't go well or, God forbid, something happens to one of you? Do you have a buy-sell agreement in place? Do you have a partnership agreement in place? And additionally, with contracts with your key employees, do you have proper offer letters with proper job descriptions? These are some of the areas we're seeing where companies don't have proper contracts in place. Also, companies failing to protect their intellectual property, whether it's patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets. Probably the biggest mistake, even though I'm saying it's number 4, Paul, is not complying with employment laws. Unfortunately, we see this day in and day out. Some of the top areas that we see where businesses are not doing what they're supposed to be doing is in wage and hour. They're not paying the proper wage. It's very difficult to keep up with the various wage structures throughout cities and counties here in California. Also, who's exempt or non-exempt? Why would that be important? Whether or not employees qualify for overtime and whether or not you're required to pay them. And do you have proper documentation in place, such as employment handbooks? And do you do the required training, such as sexual harassment training? Finally, Paul, the 5th area is ignoring tax obligations. It's unfortunate, but we see that business owners put off particularly paying income tax until quarterlies or year end, what have you, and they don't have sufficient funds. You cannot do that. Also, payroll taxes, sales taxes, and property taxes are all important things where business owners should be taken care of. How do you keep up with all this? We have to stay informed. One way you can do it is to prescribe to our free newsletter, the California Sidebar. It's on our website. And these are some of the key aspects I wanted to share today with you and your audience, Paul.
I really like that, John. And that really makes a lot of sense to me. I won't repeat everything you said there, but that makes so much sense to me. And certainly following those kind of points, I think has definitely served us well in the 17 years we've been in business. John, I just want to say a big thank you for taking a few minutes with us today. And if I can also give a shout out to the subscribers to keep an eye on the website, keep an eye on the events page for the activities that we have going on throughout the course of the year, most of which are free. And John, can I offer you a virtual high five?
You certainly can.
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate your time.
Take care, Paul.
Thanks, John.
I hope you found that interview useful, and if you did, feel free to rate, review, and share this podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we also invite you to check out our other weekly podcast, Going the Extra Mile, which is sure to lift your spirit and encourage you in today's working world. Bye for now.